Good afternoon from Nigeria. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much, International Internship University, for having me as a resource person to speak on today's topic. So I'll go ahead to share my screen. Okay, my name is Ambassador Ijeoma Nnamdi from Nigeria. I'm the CEO of Mommy and I Media and a personal development expert. Today, I'll be speaking on essential life skills to equip your child for the real world. Essential life skills to equip your child for the real world. And the contents we'll be looking at today Okay, we'll be looking at laying the foundation. We'll be talking about life skills. What is life skills all about? We will also be looking at purpose of life skills. Remember this favorite saying, if the purpose of a thing is not known, abuse is inevitable. So we'll be looking at the purpose of life skills. Why is it important for us to teach our children life skills starting from a very young age? We will also look at the significance of life skills. Now, the purpose and significance are not exactly the same, and you will catch that in the course of my presentation. We will also finally look at types of life skills. Laying the foundation, that's number one. Equipping your child with life skills, habits, tools needed to lead a happy and healthy life is a top priority for parents. Now, when we talk about parents, we are not talking about your biological child. Remember, for you to be called a parent, it means you are a caregiver. It means you are a guardian. It means you are someone that is supervising others. You have the life of others in your care. So a parent isn't just the biological mother or father of a child, but a caregiver, a guardian, someone who looks after a child. Even as educators, as global educators, we are parents because we are imparting the lives of others. And when we talk about parents here, I don't just want us to look at biological parents alone. We all are parents one way or the other. So true, children need to know how to solve math problems, read complicated tests, and write academic papers in order to be successful in the classroom. But they also need to possess vital life skills that can carry them through their everyday life. This is important. There are different ways to foster and teach your children the essential life skills they need to be successful in life. Children learn behaviors and experience the world around them, starting from their earliest years. So it benefits parents to have an idea of how to gauge a child's progress and development. life skills for children. Beginning around age 3, kids learn the skills and habits necessary to live a happy, fulfilling, and productive life. Your goal as a parent is to teach and foster these skills in a caring and loving way. Remember, children are very tender. Children love to be nurtured. They love attention. And if you must teach them these life skills I'll be talking about today, you don't do it forcefully. It's not something you impose or cause them to do. It's something you need to do in a loving way. You need to carry them along so that they can understand you. Because if you fail to carry them along, you will end up not achieving results. Remember, the results we want to achieve is to make our children know what life skill is all about, because this is what will actually help them to face the real world. So if you're doing this teaching, you need to do it in a loving manner, in a caring manner, so that they can understand you every step of the way. Understanding when and how to teach your kids these essential life skills is something most parents struggle with though. But by the end of today's teaching, you will learn the simple ways to do this. First of all, what is life skills? Life skills are defined as the abilities for adaptive and positive behavior that enable individuals to deal effectively with the demand and challenges of everyday life. Each day is full of challenges. Each day is unique. Each day has its own challenges. So we need to prepare our children. We need to equip them so that they can develop adaptive and positive behaviors right from the young age. Remember, you don't teach this when they are already adolescents, and you don't teach it in adulthood. If the foundation is porous, if you don't create a solid foundation right from the time, you will miss it. And this will end up affecting your child, both in their workplace, both in their relationship with other children, because definitely your children will relate with others. They will not stay with you in your house forever. A time comes when they will mingle with other children. A time comes when they will network with people. A time comes when they will relate with the outside world. So you need to give them a strong foundation. You need to let them understand that outside your home is the real world, where the skills will help them in their everyday life and in their daily decision making. You see why life skills are very important. Now let's go to purpose. What is the purpose of life skills? Purpose of life skills, the first one is to remove stage fear. When you groom your child right from a young age, when you prime them, when you equip them for the outside world, what happens is it removes stage fear. It helps them to be bold. It helps them to be courageous. It takes courage to face the outside world. It takes courage for them to speak up for themselves. It takes courage for them to be a voice and not an echo. So when you teach these life skills early, it will remove stage fear. Secondly, it will help them to become self-confident. We all need confidence in our daily lives. As adults, a lot of us are global educators, and you know that you cannot educate, you cannot teach, you cannot nurture when you lack self-confidence, because these things have a way of showing themselves. You need to be confident in yourself before you can pass knowledge to others. If you're not confident in your knowledge, if you're not confident in yourself, you will have a hard time imparting someone else. how much more someone else's child? Another purpose of life skill is it helps children to speak and understand English language. It helps them to develop social skills. We need social skills. Social skills help us to relate with other people. It helps us to accommodate other people. It helps us understand that in the world, we have different personalities. Everybody must not be like you. In a world, we have different temperaments. Everybody must not have the same temperament like you do. So when you teach your child these life skills, it helps them develop good social skills. They will become accommodating. They will be welcoming because they already have that knowledge that people are unique. Everyone is unique, everyone is different, and they will accommodate each other's differences because they've already learned it from the young age. They will also learn good etiquette. They will develop great work ethics. They will develop great and amazing interpersonal skills, which is very important. You and I know that you cannot work effectively in an office, in the corporate world, or for any multinational if you don't develop good interpersonal skills. It is important. So you need to teach it right from the foundation, which is right from the early years. It also helps them to learn survival skills. Already the world is survival of the fittest. Like you need to work extra hard, sometimes twice as hard, thrice as hard to survive, for you to be able to make a mark in your generation, for you to be able to impact the lives of others. So when you teach your children survival skills, it helps to prepare their mind for the real world. What is the significance of life skills? Significance of life skills. It helps a child to explore alternatives. Life skill helps a child to be able to explore alternatives and become highly resourceful. It takes a resourceful person. It takes someone who has a resourceful personality to look out for alternative ways of doing something. When there is a problem, some people get stuck in the problem without thinking, okay, if this is not working out, what else can I do to keep moving? Because the show must go on. So when your child already have these life skills, it helps to open their eyes. It helps to broaden their horizon, open their mind, and help them explore different alternatives. And this makes them highly solution-driven. It also helps in decision-making. Our successes in life is a series of right decisions. You are here where you are today because of the decisions you've taken in your life over the years. When you equip your child by teaching them how to make rational decisions per time, it sets them in the right direction. Another significance of life skill is it teaches your child refusal skills. Teaching your child to say no at the right time, or say, I will think about it when they are not sure of their decision, will save them a whole lot in life. Effective communication. Effective communication and assertiveness are important life skills that will help a child become a wholesome adult in every area of their life. From my slide, you can see that each of this significance has a column. Explore alternative, 25%, decision-making, 25%, refusal skills, 25%, effective communication, 25%. Each of these have the same percentages because none of them is more than the other. They are the same. All of them are important. You don't learn one and discard the other. So a combination of these 4 skills will give you 100%, which is a wholesome personality, a wholesome personality. When you raise your child to become a wholesome adult, the child will represent you wherever they are, because you cannot follow your child everywhere. There comes a time when you need to step back. There comes a time when your children will travel far from home without your guidance. You may not even know where they are. So the things that you've taught them at the infantry stage, through the adolescent stage, and finally when they become adults, it's what will see them through. That's why you cannot talk about a wholesome adult without talking about an adult who have a full grasp of these life skills. Two key life skills. There are two key life skills every child should have. The first is the thinking skills. This relates to relation at personal level. The other one is the social skills. This relates to interpersonal skills and do not necessarily depend on logical thinking. A combination of both the thinking skills and the social skills are needed for learning assertive behavior and negotiating effectively. Life is all about negotiation. Each day, you and I are negotiating our lives and our destiny. So if you can teach your child how to have great thinking skills and great social skills, you will find out that they will develop awesome assertive behavior, and they will learn, they will have that ability to negotiate effectively. For the parents and other educators watching, I want to quickly highlight 7 skills your child must have to succeed in the 21st century. Remember, we have the millennials, we have the Gen Zs, and before you know it, we have the Gen Alpha. So these are the 7 skills necessary for every child in this 21st century. And the first one is global awareness. From the slide, you will see that global awareness is important. Your child should know what is happening in his or her environment. Your child needs to have a full grasp of what is happening in their country. And you need to ensure that your child is also exposed to the outside world. Your child needs to develop great problem-solving ability to read and understand, ability to collaborate with others. You need to start teaching your child that they cannot do it all alone. No man is an island, and no man is a compendium of knowledge. We all need each other. We all need one another. So you need to teach your child how to collaborate with others, how to work with other children, how to relate with other children to produce positive results. You also need to teach your child research skills. How do you teach a child research skills? By allowing them to do their finding. Let them do their own visibility studies. Let them do their own research. Let them find out, let them observe and give answers to problems. It's not everything that you do for a child. Sometimes leave the child with that particular issue to figure out the solution. Media literacy. Of course, we all know we are in a digital era. Everything has gone digital. You see children working with their iPads. You see a lot of learning apps on iPads. You see a lot of learning gadgets. So you need to expose your child to these things, because these are what is needed. They are the things that are needed in this 21st century. We also have interpersonal skills. 10 core life skills for children. The first one, self-awareness, effective communication, problem solving, critical thinking, interpersonal relationships, creative thinking, empathy, decision making, coping with stress, managing emotions. They are the core life skills, the 10 core life skills for children. Let's take them one after the other. Self-awareness. Some of you might be asking, how can I teach a 3-year-old child how to be self-aware? How can I teach a 4-year-old child how to be self-aware? How can I even teach a 2-year-old child how to be self-aware? The first thing you need to do is teach about strengths and challenges. You need to teach your children about strengths and challenges. When they do something awesome, appreciate them. When they do something, maybe when they do their assignments, or when they tell you, Mommy, help me to do my assignment, you need to encourage them. You need to highlight it. When they show forth a strength in a particular thing, highlight it. That way you are reinforcing that behavior. Another thing you need to do is have a daily emotion check-in. Always ask your children, how are they doing? Is there anything they want to tell mommy? Is there anything they want to talk about? What happened in their school? I have a 2-year-old, and each day I ask him questions. How is your teacher? What happened in school? What of your friend? He has a friend by name Olamide. I will say, how is Olamide doing? What did Olamide do in class today? Did Olamide tell you anything today? What did your teacher say? Now, these are my way of finding out what happened in the class. Because if I leave him all by himself, he may not talk about these things. But by the time you probe, that's having a daily emotion check-in. You know, you probe to find answers. The next step in helping your kids develop self-awareness is for you to practice mindfulness. That's, you have to be intentional. Meet for weekly individual conferences, encourage a growth mindset, develop SMART goals together, make compliment lists, encourage self-reflection, practice gratitude, try new things together, give independent journaling time, explore interests and passions. The next life skill we'll talk about is decision making. A decision is one when there are different things you can do and you pick one of them. You make decisions every day. Yes, even getting up from the bed in the morning is a decision because you can choose to lie back and not go to work. Decision-making skills, every day is an endless sequence of decision, like I already said. Decision-making is a thought process of selecting a logical choice from the available options. Rational decisions maximize our chances of happiness, successful living, and fulfillment. The elements of a good decision. How do you know that you're making the right decision? How do you teach your child to make the right decision? The first question you need to ask yourself, or you need to tell your child, is what can I do? What do I want? What do I need to know? Am I thinking straight? Will I do it? What am I really deciding? And how do you answer these questions? By creative alternatives. You need to have creative alternatives. You need to have clear values. You need to have helpful frame. You need to have commitment to follow through. You need to have sound reasoning. Of course, you must be of sound mind to actually make a good decision. You need to have useful information. You don't make a decision based on ignorance. You need to have all your facts. You need to have all your checks correct. before you arrive at a decision. Problem-solving skills. Problems, if left unresolved, leads to mental and physical stress. Problem-solving skill allows you to solve an issue. It also helps you devise a plan in order to solve problems. It helps you examine a related problem and adjust to situations. Another skill you need to teach your child is critical thinking skills. And this refers to the ability to analyze information and experiences in an objective manner. It helps adolescents recognize and assess the factors influencing attitude and behavior. Parents, here are 8 ways parents can support critical thinking at home. Number 1, think critically as a habit. Make it a habit to think critically, and also encourage your children to do same before drawing a conclusion or arriving at a decision. Debate everything. Debate everything. I learned this from my father. You know, growing up as kids, my father will always brings an issue. He will always bring an issue to the table and asks you, what do you think about this? He'll say, okay, Ijeoma, what do you think about this? He will ask my brother, what do you think about this? And that is the way we debate on an issue before we finally arrive at a conclusion. So make it a habit. Don't just give a yes or no response. Try to debate it with your children. That way you're also helping them to analyze better. Provide access to diverse quality reading materials. Practice claim evidence reasoning. Help them learn from everything. When you attend an event with your child, let's say you have a 7-year-old child or an 8-year-old child, and you attend an event with your child. When you return, tell your child to write about the event. Ask your child, what did you learn from this event? As the child is recounting what happened at the event, that way you are helping the child to also retain. And you are encouraging critical thinking, because the child needs to go down the memory lane to remember what's transpired, the things that happened in the event, in order to give you an accurate report. So you need to make critical thinking a game. You need to teach critical thinking about mindset in your home. You need to explore the benefits of critical thinking. Coping with emotions and stress, recognizing effects of emotion on others and ourselves, being aware of how emotions influence behaviors, being able to respond to emotions appropriately, recognizing sources of stress in our lives, recognizing how this affects us, identifying ways that help the control of our levels of stress, learning to relax. These are some of the ways, things that you can teach your children so they will learn how to cope with stress. Sometimes I will send my son on an errand and he'll say, Mommy, I am tired. It's like I'm having headache. I said, okay, now you've overworked yourself. You need to rest. And immediately he leaves whatever he's doing, goes to bed and sleep. That's one of the ways I'm teaching him how to cope with stress, that he needs to relax whenever he feels a mental fatigue or whenever he feels a brain drain. He just needs to rest. Another thing you need to teach your child, another life skill you need to teach them, which is actually important in today's world, is empathy. Empathy, very important. We are in a society where people are no longer empathic. People are selfish. There is no genuine love. So you need to teach empathy. Very important. Empathy and connection are the foundations of parenting. Empathy is your parenting superpower. The more we can relate to our kids, the deeper our connections can be. And the more positive we will see in our relationships, children have their emotional needs met and are more likely to take direction and guidance. When our kids are upset, whether over a broken toy or a broken heart or anything else, they need us there for their support. As parents, through the thick and thin, through the good and bad, you should be empathic. You should always help your child walk through whatever they are passing through, whatever challenges they are going through at that moment. You need to be there for your child. At the end of the day, nobody will love your child more than you love your child. So you need to take that responsibility. And I did a breakdown. Empathy. E stands for everybody needs somebody. M stands for model and mirror love to others. You need to, as parents, you must model and mirror love to others. When your children see you loving people, when your children see you addressing people, when your children see you using kind words on people, they will learn. Put yourself in their shoes. Always tell your children to put themselves in someone else's shoe. That way they will get to at least imagine how it feels wearing that particular shoe or being in that particular situation. Ask if you can help. Maybe your child is having difficulty wearing his footwear or maybe putting on their clothes. You can just say, oh, can I help you? Why don't you ask for your help? Why don't you ask for mommy to help you? Why don't you ask daddy to help you? That way, you're also teaching the child, you can't always do everything all by yourself. You need to ask for help whenever you need help. Treat others the way you want to be treated. Teach your children this. Hurtful or helpful? Yeah, when something happens to them or they are recounting an experience to you, ask them how they feel about that situation. Ask them, do you feel hurt about this? Or do you feel helpful about this? This is important. 5 conversation starters to help develop empathy. You know, you might be asking yourself, how will I even start talking about empathy to my child? Now, these 5 steps will help you. Number 1, did you have a chance to be kind to anyone today? When your children return from school, you can ask them, did you have the chance to be kind to anyone today? And listen to what they have to say. Also ask, what can you do or say to help someone who is feeling sad? I remember whenever I'm feeling sad or maybe whenever I'm not in the best of my mood, my son will always come and say, Mommy, what is it? Mommy, Daddy loves you. You know I love you. Nnamdi loves you. His name is Nnamdi. Nene loves you. Nene is the younger sister. So he will always say all those things because this is what I tell him as the mother. Whenever he's feeling sad, whenever I notice he's not in a good mood, I will say, Junior, Daddy loves you, Mommy loves you, Nene loves you, okay? And he will say, okay. So when he sees me in that kind of mood, he returns the favor. He tells me the same thing I tell him. So that's one of the ways to know that your child is actually learning. And when you continue this, you find out that when your child meets another child in a particular situation or in a sad situation, your child will also say those kind words to that child. Your mommy loves you, your daddy loves you, stop crying. You know, this is one of the ways to build empathy in children. You can also ask, how can you tell if someone is feeling happy or sad? That way, watch your children's response and listen. How do you think other people feel when you are kind to them? If you could change one thing about the world, what will it be? These are some of the questions that can help you start a conversation on empathy with your children. Interpersonal skills. I love this a lot. Interpersonal skills, being able to develop and nurture supportive networks, to be able to end relationships constructively, help adolescents to relate better with themselves, and with other people in positive ways. Effective communication. Why are communication skills important? They improve relationships, they develop respect. It helps develop empathy for others, allow us to function more effectively in social situations. It also helps us to succeed in life, at work, and in school. And this is a life skill checklist on communication. You need to ask yourself, do you treat everyone with respect? Do you encourage others to share your ideas? Do you compliment others on their good ideas? Do you keep an open mind to other points of view? Some people don't like other people's point of view. And if you are on that table, you need to have a rethink. You need to, review and make amends. Share your thoughts and feelings. Consider how others feel. Be tactful. This is communication checklist. You need to ask yourself that question. Creative thinking skills. Examples of creative thinking skills: analytical mindsets, experimentation, problem solving, active listening, communication, curiosity, open-mindedness, lateral thinking, organization, divergent thinking. These are the examples of creative thinking skills. So, in summary, a strong mastery of these skills from infantry stage through adolescence will equip your child for the real world, where they can make logical decisions on their own because they are wholesome adults. If you take time to teach your children these life skills, right from the infantry stage through adolescent stage, then to adulthood, I bet you will raise a wholesome adult who will be able to stand up for themselves wherever they find themselves. I always tell people something. If you follow me on social media, I've said it several times, my father played a key role in my life because he gave us that wings to fly. And when I was preparing my slides for life skills, I actually got to understand how he allows us to make certain decisions. There are some things that you will come to him to request for help. He will tell you, go figure it out. Go figure it out and give me a feedback. It sounds like nothing, but that's little chance for us to think, for us to figure out something on our own, actually help us, because like I said earlier, you will not always be there for these children. You won't always be there. There will be a time your children will be far away from home. They won't be within your reach. And every day they need to take a decision. So if you fail to teach them these life skills when they are young, they will have a difficult time being fair. They will have a difficult time being confident in themselves. They will have a difficult time being assertive, and they may not even know how to use refusal skills. Not just refusal skills, they may not even know how to negotiate their future, because every day, whatever you do, you are negotiating your future one way or the other. So you need to take your time and train your child, ensure that they understand these life skills. You need to be intentional about it. That way, you'll be proud of the man or the woman they will become in future. Thank you so much for watching. To all our listeners, thank you so much for watching. And thank you so much once again, International Internship University, for having me today. I'm grateful and honored.